In this video, we're going to be propagating salvia. First things first, it's important to know that salvia roots on the node. All of this was under the soil. It did not root. This is an internode. This is in between the nodes. There's a node here and there's a node up here. So it was in the soil up to here. As you can see, it did not root anywhere along the stem. It only rooted right there at the node. I have one more to show you because it actually has new growth coming from underneath the soil. So I want to show you the mystery area where you can't see what's happening in the soil. So here you go. This is what's happening when new shoots come from underneath. As you can see, it was in the soil up until there. And it's pale because when the sun doesn't hit it, it doesn't turn green until the sun hits it. So as you can see, it threw up shoots and it threw down roots all at the node. So all the action happens at the node for salvia. So if your rootings are failing, I feel like this is why, because you cut it here in between the node and stick that in the soil, and that's what happens because it needs to have a node under the soil. But this is just my opinion. This is just my experience. I've tried many times and I never got it to root in between the nodes. Maybe some other people, because they use hormones, that it works for them, but it just never works for me. This is the easiest, no hassle way that I found, is just to have a node under the ground. You don't need hormones. You don't need anything. You don't need a tent. You don't need mist. You don't need any kind of anything. I just put these under a tree. I keep them watered. I just make sure there's a node under there and it works. I almost get like 100% success rate. Maybe there'll be an odd one here or there that doesn't root, but for the most part, they mostly root. I'm going to propagate this one. I think this one is a May night. The flowers are a bit different from the other ones I have, so I want more of this one. Okay, so I have a dibbler. I have my cuttings. I believe these are May night, but don't quote me on that because I'm not exactly sure. I can't see the tag all the way back there. So it might be or it might not be, but it doesn't really matter because I like the flower. And you see they're already flowered, so you'll see that these actually root. So it doesn't really matter. You don't actually need a stem that hasn't flowered. You need this. This is a node where the leaves came out. That's a node. I'm gonna take these off, cut it right underneath, leave a little space, and there's my cutting. I could make two. I'm gonna make two. So there's one cutting. Stick that in there. That one was quite firm, so it doesn't need the dibbler. And I'm gonna take these off. And this one seems like it might need a little help, so I'm gonna stick that in there. Here's another one. Now when I see these branches, I don't like to cut those off because they're already branched out, so I like to leave those on there and just get it so that this node is under the soil. Let me show you. See? Just under. That'll do just fine. These off. Up there. I'm gonna put it just like that. Now I'm gonna water it in. And that's how I did all the other cuttings. So we're going to put it in the shade, keep it watered. Just needs shade and water until it roots in, and once it roots in, I'll make an update video and show you these exact cuttings. I already watered it in. I'm just cleaning the dirt off the leaves. There we go. I'm going to place it underneath this apple tree. I've got some other cuttings going, so it's going to have some company. There we go. That's all it took. So I'm going to keep this there, and I'll keep you updated. I hope you found this video useful, and please click the follow button if you'd like to follow along for more. Happy gardening!